G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well, Adam, Level Earth Observer, he just doesn't know when to stop, does he? He went and put up an Apollo video. Well, unfortunately he only thinks about these things from the eyes of a crane driver, not an actual scientist. So let's have a look at what he said.
This is the Apollo 15 lander. They're about to blast off home. The stage prop, or the lander, has been put on uneven ground, so it's slightly tilting to the left. The moment it leaves the lander, the bottom of that pod that they're in supposedly levels out, i.e. goes horizontal. It levels out. Rather than travel in the same direction, this thing will, you'll get the party popper distractional explosion. The bottom of it will level out and it'll glide off to the left, okay?
So it seems, Adam, the only thing that you can think of is that the capsule is being lifted. What about the rocket engine that's pushing it up? What about the fact that that rocket engine wants to correct the capsule to make it go vertical? So you can see, Adam, that the capsule as it takes off goes slightly to the left until it corrects and now is going straight up, but it's already got a horizontal component from the initial launch. So it's just going to keep going slightly horizontal.
I don't entirely know exactly what's going on.
But if you look at what you did with your little cup experiment, you can see that it wobbles backwards and forwards as you lift it. The capsule did not. It lifted off, went slightly left, corrected, due to the gimbaling rocket, and went straight up. And if you don't believe that rockets have gimbals, here, let's have a look at this Blue Origin rocket. They show them testing the gimbal of the rocket nozzle. And of course we know the launch vehicle on the moon had to have exactly the same thing to be able to make it fly the direction they needed to make it fly.
I don't entirely know exactly what's going on. That's what we see now. I think it could either be one or two things. A crane lifting it and it kicks out because it's on uneven ground, or it's a balloon that's tethered, that's off centre to give it the impression it's going up.
You silly bloke, Adam, you purposely left out the one reasoning that actually works. The thing was using a rocket to take off. So that was all rather short and sweet, wasn't it? We can see Adam's cup wobbles backwards and forwards. We can see that the rocket did not.
Quite clearly, using a rocket.
Oh, and just check out that landing. Blue Origin can do something that SpaceX can't. They can hover their booster. How cool is that? Because Adam, you really had a bad week last week, didn't you? So why don't you just quick say who actually debunked you last week? There was 3 of them, I think.
To be honest, probably one of the worst weeks on memory for me. Wolfie kicked it off by debunking me. Wolfie then went on to make me look like a triggered pantomime artist throwing stuff about. It just kept getting worse. Simon Dan, with over 300,000 subs, jumped on board then halfway through last week, or near the end of last week, the debunking me. If you've not seen that, his own debunk video, which they debunking me, which of course made an even bigger mess. So again, thank you, Dan, and bang on cue. Basically, Wolfie's son rocked up, exposing himself. In case you don't know, his name's Wally, Wolfie's son. We thank you for your wonderful performances where you've highlighted the absurdity, and it was a joy to see 3 of the finest globe artists I know bringing the curtain down on the nonsense with the crane.
Oh, don't forget Angry Welshman. He ripped into you about twice, or maybe was it 3 times? I'm not sure, but each time it was a total demolishing of all that you stood for. Okay, well, to finish off, Adam, and I'm going to debunk you all over again here, let's just have a look at that Origin Blue test flight where they put Mannequin Skywalker in there and they sent it up, and I did this a long time ago. I had a quick look at what you see out that narrow window from down low, and then every 30 seconds as it was taking off, as it was flying upwards, we'll have a look out the window. And it's only a very narrow window, but as we squash it in to amplify what we're seeing, guess what you see when you get up really nice and high? When you're at the full apogee, that's the top of the flight, Adam. It's over 100 kilometers up, which is a lot higher than the SR-71. And guess what we're seeing out even a very narrow view? Yeah, look at that curvature, Adam. And you know what this also proves? Because the camera was stationary, it was the same window the whole time. You cannot blame the window. And I know you want to, that's why you want to get Wolfie's video footage, so you can tell him it's his window that's creating the curvature and not the altitude. So, yet again, Adam, debunked. I look forward to your comments. Okay, well that just about wraps that up, but to take us out, I just want to give a shout out to Professor Bell. Now this guy, he has been doing some really good stuff. He's been in lots of chats around the place, and he's a rocket scientist, so he knows what the hell he's talking about, as opposed to a crane driver who knows nothing about rockets. And I reckon we should all go and sub and click and subscribe and all those good things, because he's used a whiteboard and he knows what he's talking about.